Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel, where today I'm going to attempt to predict the game week 4 fixtures of the 2019-2020 SPFL Premiership season. Now, shall we have a look back on how I did last week? I didn't have a very good week, has to be said. So obviously I said Hamilton to Motherwell 2, that was 3-1 to Motherwell. I went for a 2-1 win to St Johnstone. It was a 2-2 draw, but that means now Hibs have not beaten St Johnstone at Easter Road for 7 years now, so that's a monkey they need to get off their back, definitely. Kilmarnock Aberdeen, I went for a 1-1 to Aberdeen. It was a 0-0 draw. Ross County Livingston, maybe I should have more faith in Livingston. Yeah. 4-1 winners for Livingston in that one, but you would assume that the away form for Livingston, but it wasn't to be. So it was a very, very good win for Livingston there. St Mirren Rangers, I went for a 2-0 win for Rangers. It was 1-0. So, and Celtic Hearts, I went for a 2-0 win to Celtic, and it finished 3-1. So we have some interesting fixtures this weekend. Obviously, there is a big one happening in Glasgow on Sunday at 12 o'clock, which is Rangers against Celtic, the first Old Firm derby of the season. So that'll be very, very interesting indeed. We've also got Aberdeen against Ross County. We've got Hearts against Hamilton, Livingston against St Mirren, Motherwell against Hibernian, St Johnstone against Kilmarnock, and Rangers against Celtic. Aberdeen against Ross County. Now, the last time these two met was back in 2017, where Aberdeen ran out 2-1 winners against Ross County at Pittodrie, and obviously this game is at Pittodrie. Now, a few wee stats for everyone wondering. Excuse me. Aberdeen have won the last 5 meetings with Ross County, and in fact, County's last win over Aberdeen was in 2016, when they were 2-1 winners at whatever Ross County Stadium's called, the Global Energy Stadium, I think that's what it's called. But obviously I've got that wrong, then obviously correct me. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's a very, very good. It'll be a very good game, this one. I think it'll be very, very close. Obviously, Aberdeen 0-0 draw with Kilmarnock. Obviously, Scott McKenna is out for a wee while, so it'll be interesting to see who comes in for Scott McKenna. But to be fair, they did have their chances. It wasn't a very good game, and Aberdeen, I think they would have probably wanted to win that game against Kilmarnock, but obviously it didn't happen. So yeah, bit of a strange one. Ross County, obviously on the back of a 4-1 hammering by Livingston. No, I don't think anyone would have expected that, considering that Ross County's obviously last home game before that was a 3-0 win to Ross County against Hamilton. So it's quite surprising that they go in and lose 4-1 to Livingston. In fact, previous to that, Ross County actually lost 4-1 to Livingston. That was their last defeat to Livingston, in fact, in the league. So yeah, plenty of work to be done for Ross County's management duo. So as far as this game goes, I can't really see anything other than a home win here. I do fancy Aberdeen to bounce back, and I think they will bounce back with a win against Ross County. But again, like I said, this game does not define Ross County's season. It's more about the games against the teams in amongst them. But for this game, I'm going for a 2-0 win to the Doms. Aberdeen 2, Ross County 0. Hearts against Hamilton. Now, the last time these two met was a 2-0 win to Hearts at Tynecastle. Now, Hearts have won 3 out of the last 5 meetings with Hamilton, and there's been 2 draws in there as well. There's been a draw and actually a Hamilton win, I should add. Also, Hamilton have never won at Tynecastle, so it'd be very, very interesting to see if they could get that off their back. But it'll be very, very interesting at this one. Hearts obviously losing 3-1 to Celtic. Kind of they're kind of suspect to their own downfall really. Two own goals in that game against Celtic. Obviously one of Berra. I don't know what he's doing for that first Celtic goal. And Pereira wasn't very, very good. In fact, Joe Pereira has actually returned to Manchester United for treatment. So he's obviously injured. Jamie Walker is injured as well. So they got they got a fair few players out, and it's going to be an interesting game, this one. I think. Obviously they haven't started well. Obviously second bottom at the moment, but like I said, it's only the start of the season. But you do want to be away from there as soon as possible. So that might put them on the minds, and it's now 2 years to the day that Craig Levein was appointed Hearts manager. If we've got any Hearts fans in the if we have any Hearts fans watching this, then please get in the comments to say how do you think that Craig Levein's 2 years in charge have been since he came back. I would like to know about that. Hamilton obviously losing 3-1 in their Lanarkshire derby. Doesn't really help when you go down to 10 men very, very early on. But they were much better when they went down to 10 men. Looked a bit more threatening, but obviously Motherwell coming out away with 3-1 winners kind of says the whole story. So be a very, very interesting game, this one. As far as the score prediction goes, obviously Hamilton have never won at Tynecastle, so I'm going to have to go for a Hearts win. But I don't think it'll be by much. I think it'll be a very, very tight game. Hearts just need that win to get the monkey off their back for sure. I'm going to say a Hearts 1-0 win for Hearts. I'm going for a 1-0 Hearts win. Livingston against St Mirren. Now, the last time these two met, St Mirren actually were 3-1 winners on the day. So that's interesting. In fact, Livingston have only won just 2 meetings with St Mirren at the Tony Macaroni Arena. The last 5 meetings, Livingston have won 2, lost 2, and drawn 1. So they're pretty even in head-to-head records. Livingston, what can I say? What can I say? I'm sorry I doubted you. I just didn't think you were going to win against Ross County, but 4-1 winners. I mean, that was absolutely superb. To go 3-0 up after 25 minutes as well was excellent. I thought Lyndon Dykes had a fantastic game up front. Obviously Stevie Lawless as well, Scott Pittman, even Guthrie at the back. He looks pretty good as well. So it's a very, very good win, and kind of topped it off when Jack Stobbs scored an absolute screamer from it's just the inside of the box. It just went into the top corner. So good to see him. Good to see him scoring. It's a very good win for Livingston, and it gets that away day hoodoo off their back now that they've obviously won for the first time in a year away from home. So hopefully there'll be more away wins this season for Livingston. St Mirren, they were pretty unfortunate against Rangers. They played pretty good against Rangers, actually. Obviously, the Borna Barisic free kick was absolutely top class, straight into the top corner. There's nothing you can do about that. But, St Mirren gave Rangers a really hard game, and, St Mirren, they've obviously gone away with a 1-0 defeat. So, kind of says it all, really. There are definitely no pushovers. This is going to be a very, very tough game because obviously these two will definitely be in and amongst each other probably by the end of the season. But because of Livingston's win last week, I think confidence will be high. I know St Mirren won the last meeting between the sides 3-1, but obviously that was a time when Livingston were already safe and kind of sort of downgraded tools a little bit. So I don't expect that. I'll be there as always. I'm looking forward to this one. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Livingston. Livingston 2, St Mirren 1. Motherwell against Hibernian. Now, the last time these two met, Motherwell actually won 1-0 against Hibs. But Hibs have won the last 4 meetings with Motherwell, But obviously Motherwell won the last meeting at Fir Park by a goal to nil. Motherwell, obviously, a very good away win against Hamilton. Very, very good attacking performance as well. They're looking much, much better attacking, and some very good goals as well, especially from Long. That was an absolute cracker as well. And then obviously, Peter Hartley gets the first goal, although I believe that's been put down as a Gogic OG. So he obviously won't be getting that goal for Motherwell. But Motherwell are playing pretty good football at the moment, and it'll be a very, very close game coming up against Hibs. Hibs, safe to say that they still have that hoodoo against St Johnstone. Not won now against St Johnstone at Easter Road for 7 years. So that must be playing on their minds. They were very, very close to winning, but obviously a last-minute equaliser from Fraser. So it was a very, very sore one to take for sure. But you know what, Hibs are they're not playing very well at the moment, and Heckingbottom is definitely under pressure there for sure. So this is going to be a very, very interesting one. As far as the score prediction goes, I'm going to go for just Motherwell. I think Motherwell are much better at Fir Park than they are away, and I think Hibs are on a bit of a bad spell at the moment, and I just don't see them getting out of it. So for me, it's a home win here. I'm going for Motherwell 2, Hibernian 1. St Johnstone against Kilmarnock. The last time these two met, it was a very dull 0-0 draw at McDermott Park, and in fact Kilmarnock have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings with St Johnstone, and then quite interestingly, St Johnstone have not actually won against Kilmarnock at McDermott Park since 7th of November 2015. So that's a bit of another hoodoo to go back on. St Johnstone, as I've just been saying, a very good point away from home against Hibs, and actually they pretty much dominated the game. So obviously Tommy Wright would have enjoyed that one to get a 2-2, but it's wins they need. It's definitely wins they need now for St Johnstone. It's definitely something that they need is a win. Because obviously they've had 2 back-to-back 2-2 draws now with Livingston and Hibernian, so they'd be pretty pleased to go in with a 2-2 against Hibs, and it's a very tricky place to go to, Easter Roads. So obviously Michael O'Halloran scoring as well. So if they can add a striker or two before the window closes, which is next Monday, then I think they'll be okay. Kilmarnock, obviously 0-0 with Aberdeen, but probably just shaded it in terms of that game. Very unlucky not to win that one. But yeah, it's wins that Angelo Alessio needs as well, as Kilmarnock find themselves roosted at the bottom at the moment. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see if they can get a win. As far as this one goes, St Johnstone have not beaten Kilmarnock at McDermott Park, like I said, since the 7th of November 2015. I'm going to go for a score draw here. I think we're very, very close, but just because both teams are sort of struggling for wins, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between St Johnstone and Kilmarnock. So that is all the Saturday games, and now the big one, Sunday, 12 o'clock, live on Sky. It is Rangers against Celtic. Now, the last time these two met, Rangers beat Celtic 2-0 at Ibrox. In fact, Celtic have won 3 out of the last 5 meetings with Rangers. Obviously, Rangers won in the last meeting with Celtic, but Rangers won 2 out of those 5. So there's not been a draw with Rangers or Celtic for a wee while. So be very, very interesting, this one. Rangers obviously winning 1-0 at St Mirren, and I said it before, Borna Barisic's free kick was absolutely top drawer. No one is saving that when you get going. Absolutely stunning free kick from him. And also, it is going to be a very interesting selection dilemma for Steven Gerrard. Does he play Jermaine Defoe? Does he play Alfredo Morelos? Or does he play them both? For me, I think he'll probably go with Defoe. Because he's been kind of interchanging between Defoe for the league games and Morelos for the Europa League. So that's something to think about as well. Obviously, Rangers will play Legia Warsaw tomorrow night. Wish them all the best of luck. I will also wish Celtic the best of luck against AIK as well. But Rangers are looking pretty good, and I think they'll be pretty pleased that this game is at Ibrox first. Because if it was Celtic Park, then it be very interesting. Obviously, Bobby Madden is the referee for this one, and we all know what happened the last time he refereed Rangers and Celtic. Alfredo Morelos got sent off, and then there was a big bust up at the end. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Celtic, obviously 3-1 winners over Hearts. Fraser Forster had a bit of an eventful afternoon, didn't he? He gets booked for on his return to playing for Celtic. So Christopher Ayer was absolutely outstanding in that game. And poor old Victor Asum Bio. It looks like he's not getting those 2 goals. It looks like they are going down as Berra and a Halkett own goal. So he's obviously not off the mark for Celtic, but I'm pretty sure he'll be off the mark pretty soon. Like I said, Celtic have got AIK tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team selection Neil Lennon picks. I would expect probably Neil Lennon to pick probably a strong team in Sweden to get the job done. Rangers, I think they'll need to definitely post a strong team as well. So, having said that, cause it's at Ibrox, I'm going to actually say that Rangers will win the first Old Firm derby. I just think that at the moment, I know that Celtic have scored 15 goals in 3 games, and that's a credit to them. But they are coming up against a very mean defence in Rangers, and I think 1 goal will separate it between the two, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Rangers. I just think that Rangers will probably sneak this one and get that much needed 3-point lead over Celtic as the international break looms. So that is it. That is my match week 4 predictions. I'll just quickly go through them very quickly again. Aberdeen 2, Ross County 0, Hearts 1, Hamilton 0, Livingston 2, St Mirren 1, Motherwell 2, Hibernian 1, St Johnstone 1, Kilmarnock 1, and Rangers 2, Celtic 1. Now, if you want to have your score predictions in the comment section below, then please feel free to do so, and keep subscribing, liking, sharing, whatever you want to do. Is absolutely entirely up to you. Good luck to your teams for the weekend. I'm obviously at Livingston St Mirren at the weekend. Looking forward to that one. And yeah, hopefully we have some good games. Hopefully we have some more goals. And yeah, we've got one more week until the international break, which means that the season after this will return on the 14th of September. I think that's the same for the Premiership, Premier League as well. So that'll be very good to watch. And also, if anyone is a Dundee or a Dundee United fan, then the game on Friday for sports scene is the Dundee Derby on Friday night. That is live on the BBC Scotland channel at 7 o'clock. So that'll be a very interesting one. So it's Derby Day this weekend. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with you in another video very shortly. I might be doing a Burnley Liverpool preview later on. See if I've got enough time. But yep. Anyway, good luck to your teams. Enjoy the football, and yeah, we'll see what happens in game week 4, and yeah, enjoy the international break when it comes. I'm not a fan of them, so Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Take care, everyone. Bye bye for now.